little bit tilted, but this is how we look. You can see up here.
Okay, I can see you.
Yeah. That's me, and then that's you. But
Okay.
we're actually tilted. I didn't realize that. I've always been tilted all day.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, slightly. That's better.
Are you okay?
Yep.
All
All
right.
right. Anyway, let me take us off the screen because. Hello, and thank you everybody for tuning in to Bristol's very own Channel 591. Today's thing that we have right now is going to be Interview with the Resident. How you doing today, Emily?
Just fine, thanks, Adam. Good to be here.
Glad you're here with us. You have a good day so far?
So far, so good.
All right, and you're not here against your will, correct?
Not at all. I've
Not
been
at
watching you all morning.
Yeah, I had exercise and interesting history. And then at 2 o'clock, there'll be a movie, The Princess Bride. It's a favorite of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And 2:15, I'll have Walking Club for anybody not watching a movie. And 4 o'clock, we have trivia. But, oh well, today and right now is Interview with the Resident. As you can see on my nice little board behind us. So, let's get this started. So, when the world was graced with Mrs. Putter, where were you born?
Oh, okay. I was born in Brooklyn, and I lived there for only 5 years until we moved to Queens, where I spent the majority of my childhood and young adulthood, actually until I was already out of college and starting a job.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, you've been in New Yorker your entire life then?
I have been, yes.
Aw, that's very sweet. Have you liked it here?
Yep. I've been as content as I could be, although my kids have gone scattering all over the place at this point. My children are in many states different than mine, but it's a place to visit. It's for them to come and visit me from the different parts of the country.
Aw, that's kind of cute though. But they always come back to mom.
Yep.
Always come back to mom. Oh well. Did you always enjoy living in Queens? What was your favorite part of that?
Well, I have a funny story about what happened. We moved to two different places. They were both rentals when I was the child. And our first rental, I have a brother who's 2.5 years older than I am, doing well in Florida, I might add. He's in his 90s, and we're very happy with how he's doing. Anyway, when we were kids, we moved from one house to the other, and my brother and I were very disgruntled about that. We just didn't want to move. So we decided we'd have a protest. So what we did, we set up some sort of a tent in the new house with a big sign with the old address. And we thought that we could just stay there until my parents decided to move back to the old house. Well, I must have been about 7, and my brother was about 9, and my parents weren't about to move. So I think we lasted until supper that night.
That's very cute. I like that. So I guess you really liked it there that much.
Oh, yeah. No, I liked it in Queens. And as I say, I grew up there. I had many friends. I did a lot of Girl Scouting. I became a Girl Scout. And we just became associated with the community.
I was going to ask, what are your great memories as a child? Did you go to the park or anything like that?
Well, my favorite sport, and I had very few that I participated in, was roller skating.
That's good. That's a good way to get around too.
Right, and at that time we all roller skated on the sidewalks, and I learned how to ride a bike. So that we did in parks, and we'd go to a park because we never rode bikes. Where I grew up was Jackson Heights, and it was really too crowded with cars and people to ride in the street. And my parents wouldn't allow it. So we went to a park, and I would do some bike riding there.
I understand. My mom, she grew up in Queens, and she told me she didn't get her license till she was 20 because she never had a reason to.
Exactly.
You could bike ride or anything, or even walk to wherever you needed to go.
Right.
Oh, well. What were your parents like?
Well, my mom was a very talented lady who played the piano very well. In fact, she played for the silent movies. That was her job when she was younger. And she could belt out anything. And some of my happiest memories as a child was having my parents have many of their friends over. And one of them would call out the name of a popular song, and my mother would just play it in whatever key they were singing.
Wow.
And and we used to, my brother and I used to stand at the top of the steps and listen. Aww. And that was a happy memory.
That's actually very sweet. I like that. Oh, well. So she was very musically talented.
She was musically talented, and she had talent in her family. And I guess as a result, my own children we had in music. I have a cello player, a viola player,
violin
player, and a few other
So
instruments.
your house was always filled with music.
Oh, yeah.
The house is alive with the sound of music. Oh, well. And how was school for you?
Pretty good. I don't remember loving high school, and I don't know why.
I don't think many people do.
Yeah,
Unless you were a superstar.
I don't know why. But I did have a friend who went to a different high school. She was an extremely bright girl and was accepted into Hunter College High School. Hunter College High School, right? And we became very, very best friends. I did
Aw.
things with her school, and we'd known each other since kindergarten.
Oh, that's so
And
sweet.
we're still in touch. She lives in California,
Okay.
and we visited each other. And
So
but-
you don't let the New York to California distance get in between you guys.
not really. But the high school was different, and I don't remember being as close to friends in my own high school as I was to her and her friends
Aw.
who were in a different school.
All right. What was your first job, and did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah. Well, I think I always gravitated toward doing anything with children. And my first job was a camp counselor in Whitestone, New York in the summer.
Oh, wow.
And I did enjoy that, yeah. And that kind of paved the way for my future with children.
Aw. So what other jobs did you have then? And which was your favorite?
Well, we have to skip ahead until after I got out of school. And I became a teacher.
Okay.
And I became a kindergarten teacher.
Aw.
And the interesting thing about that was my mother had always told me when I was growing up that she could envision me as a kindergarten teacher.
Aw.
And at that point, my idea of a teacher was, oh, Mom, I don't want to be a teacher. But when I was ready to graduate from college, I suddenly realized I want to be a kindergarten teacher. So I had to get my additional degree, which I did at Columbia, and I was able to start teaching after that.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's actually really sweet. I know, I can definitely see, I can see that in your personality. You definitely have to be a very patient and kind person to have an occupation like that.
Oh, you're very sweet.
Oh, well. Did you get to travel all throughout your life?
Oh, did I? Not until quite a bit later. Now, my husband and I, can I go back to how I met my husband?
By all means.
Okay, I met my husband through a kindergarten child that I was teaching. Her mother was the class mother and worked with who became my husband. Her husband and my future husband.
They worked together.
They worked together,
So you weren't
right?
stealing her man.
Not exactly. No, because I was already teaching her daughter. So I am still in touch with her daughter, who recently turned 72,
Oh, wow.
which is
okay.
really, really the shock of my life. But we are in touch with each other and enjoy keeping up. But anyway, so that's how I met my husband, and we ended up having 5 children.
Okay.
And when they reached the age of being able to be on their own and grown up, I was able to do a little traveling. And my husband and I had never been out of the country before. And we suddenly started to travel and loved it. And we ended up going to all 7 continents, including Antarctica.
Oh, my Lord.
And,
Okay.
and we really loved it all. And we were able to do it at a time when my kids were on their own. So that was our traveling, and I have many, many happy memories of those days.
Well, there's 2 things I want to hear about.
Sure.
First, how was Antarctica?
Antarctica was amazing. I think it was
Really?
warmer in Antarctica when we were there than it was in New York that winter. It was just one of those crazy times.
What's on the southern hemisphere? So the winter and summer are flipped.
Right. Well, the funny thing about Antarctica, we saw many, many penguins.
Aw.
And they had these rising areas where we could go and see the penguins. And they had these orange, what do they have? The orange stands that they have, what do they call them?
Orange, what do you mean? The penguins?
You know, in the street sign, you know.
The cones?
The cones, thank you.
Oh, there you go.
They had, I couldn't think. It was a hard word.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Anyway, they had
You're doing good so
cones,
far.
cones showing us that we cannot go any further than that because we didn't. We weren't allowed to disturb the penguins.
Yeah.
However, they never let the penguins see the signs, so the penguins came down to us. And
The penguins don't care.
they don't care. They couldn't read English. I think they were reading a different language. But anyway,
Maybe they only speak Spanish.
that could be. That could be. It's in the southern hemisphere. Anyway, it was very exciting, and we had rangers on board that told us all about the history and the geography of the land, and it was an unforgettable vacation.
Aw.
That was good.
All right. And then what was if that wasn't your favorite, what was your favorite vacation?
That was easy. I think that was Greece.
Okay.
Because when we went to Greece, we went at a time when there weren't any storms that kept us from visiting all the islands that we did on the cruise. And it was just the most beautiful weather, and we met the nicest people. And we kept in touch with a bunch of people that we had met on our tour for many, many years afterwards. So that was quite a remarkable trip.
Aww.
Everything was working very well.
I'm glad for you. And then I know you already talked about your husband, but you got married on a special day with a special number, right?
Yeah. The number 5 comes to play in my history. And we were married on May 5th, 1955, which was the 5th day of the week. It happened to have been on a Thursday, believe it or not.
So 5/5/55
So it was
on the 5/5/55
on the 5th day of the week, exactly. And we had 5 children, 10 grandchildren.
Oh, wow.
And I now have 6.5 great-grandchildren, which is astonishing.
Where's the half? Is one of them pregnant?
Pardon me?
You said 6.5.
Oh, yes, we have one pregnant, of course.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And he's due to give his baby boy a little sister.
Aw.
So we're in August, so we're very happy about that.
That is very sweet. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to the younger generation?
Well, now that I'm older and I have quite a big past behind me, I would say don't relive the past, but use the past as a stepping stone to being happy in the future. I know it sounds a little deep, but what I mean by that is I can look back on the past, and we've had our ups and downs, believe me. We don't go through 53 years together without, my husband and I, without having ups and downs. But I look back on the good times through pictures, through memories, and that makes me smile, and that makes me be able to go on, despite the fact that there are aches and pains in growing, and there are downsides to growing. But I think if you don't relive the past, particularly the negatives, and concentrate on the positive, and this I do recommend for anybody in the future.
I like
That's
that.
one of them.
I think my mother always told me, she said, you can't change the past, but you can learn from it and use it to make better decisions.
Absolutely. And the other thing is keep a sense of humor and try to keep a positive attitude. And
Aw.
that to me is number 1.
I like those.
It's not always easy, but there is always a bright side. So that's
I
my
can
little
understand that.
philosophy.
And so, today, what are your hobbies, or what do you like to enjoy?
I enjoy here. I love the Bristol. I enjoy the activities that we're offered. It's too bad more people don't get a little bit more involved in them, because I think they would enjoy them. There are things that we can do as groups. The arts and crafts I love. There are singing groups. There are almost anything that you would like to do as a resident.
We got
You
it.
could, they've got it, or you could request it, and they could try to get it for you.
That's what I was going to say. If anyone ever has any suggestions, when we're out
Right.
of quarantine, let me know.
Right.
Or in quarantine, this is all I got.
Right, right.
Just $5.91. But that's good. And then I
And-
believe every Tuesday morning you have something
Yeah.
special going on. Would
Yeah,
you like to
yeah.
talk about that?
This has a little bit of a background. after my husband passed away, which is almost 13 years now,
My
I want.
condolences.
Thank you. He's with me all the time, Adam,
Aw.
in my mind. But anyway, I wanted to focus on something that would keep me going. And one of the things I got involved in was a group at the library where I had worked previously as the storyteller to little kids. But they asked me whether I'd like to help with a group called Conversation. And what that was, it was a voluntary job. Every week we met at the library with people from all over the world who wanted to get back into the workforce, but they had to improve their conversation skills. So our job was to get them to speak more English and to exchange ideas. And we had people there from South Korea, Brazil, Peru, Kosovo, which is Yugoslavia, Europe, Israel, all over the world. And I think in the long run, and I was there for 11 years before I came here, I think that I learned more from them than they did from us. We celebrated every holiday, every cultural event. And anyway, of course, I had to leave that when I came here. And I just found out about a month or so ago that they were still instituting it on a Zoom level at the library. And it was going to be Zoomed, initiated from the library, but with people who used to come, and new people who would like to still join that type of group. So every Tuesday now on my computer, I get a Zoom visit and I help lead the group just to bring them to talk a little bit more and to improve their English. And that's been the delight of my Tuesdays. And Adam knew about this.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I always like hearing about it. As somebody who comes from a family of many immigrants, I will say that it is definitely a beautiful and wonderful thing that you do, knowing people who have struggled to learn English and acclimate
Right.
into society.
Right.
It really, to me, it means a lot because I've seen people struggle, and to know that you do something like that actually means a lot. So
Right.
thank
Well,
you.
thank you. As I said, I think I get more out of it than they do.
Oh, well. All right.
Okay.
Oh, no, you can keep talking.
No, I was just going to say the other thing that gives me so much pleasure, and I didn't even center on this, is my family and their accomplishments. My immediate family now numbers 30, which is incredible, with the kids, the grandkids, their spouses, and
They're
the
prosperous.
great-grandchildren. What?
The putters are spreading. You guys have been prosperous.
Absolutely. And anyway, they're scattered over the country. I have, in the group, I've got a few nurses, a doctor, a social worker, a teacher, and I'm in touch with every one of my kids. And they give me the most pleasure of anything in the world. And they're accomplished. I've got those who have gone on to good things in life, and most of them have had very happy and successful, at least starts. So that's
Aw.
what I kind of live through them too.
You get to see all their lives go on, and you did your part. Now they get to do theirs.
Exactly.
That's
It's in
very
their
sweet.
hands now.
It's in their hands now, and you raise them or influence them all to make good decisions.
Well, I hope so. We made our mistakes too, and I know we did.
It's part of growing.
But we did the best we could, and it's just so nice to see that they've all turned out so positively.
That's good. I'm very happy for you. That must be a
Thank
beautiful
you.
thing. All right, and then trying to see. Oh, here's a fun one. Just a personal question. What is your favorite meal and cocktail?
Okay. Meal is very hard because I'm a very easy one to please. I like almost everything. I'll try new things, and the two things that I really stay away from are very salty and spicy at all. I find
I'm your opposite.
spicy things take my taste away. And salty things, which includes anchovies and caviar, thankfully I don't like. So I don't have to indulge in that. But I like everything. I love pasta. I love Italian. I'll eat different types of food, and I've learned about different ones a lot from this group that I help with. And I don't think I could pick out one.
Okay.
Now, drinks or something else.
So what's your drink?
Okay. I guess my favorite would be a strictly woman's drink, a White Russian. And believe it or not, that was introduced to me by Zelda Hirsch, who a lot of you know. Zelda and I have a history. We know each other for, about 40 some odd years.
Really?
And we've become very good friends. Believe it or not, we met at an aerobics class. And we've become friends, and we've shared each other's friends. We've shared
She's
weddings.
a very sweet woman.
Pardon me?
Zelda's a very sweet woman.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. She's a good friend of mine. And she introduced me to White Russian. And, yeah. And it's so nice that she's here at the Bristol with me. And, we touch bases. We email each other when we're in quarantine, particularly. And that part of it is good.
I love that a lot. All right, I got another question for you, and then I got 2 more questions, and then we'll end.
2 more?
2 more. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
No.
No? All right.
I can't think.
When quarantine is over, if you could go anywhere, actually, when quarantine is over, what's the first thing you'd like to do?
Hug my grandchildren. I'll hug my great-grandchildren and my grandchildren and my children.
Aw, I like that one. And then, when quarantine is over, where is the first place in the world you'd like to go if you could travel?
I could travel to.
Anywhere, except the moon.
Okay, I think I'd like to go to Japan.
That's actually on my list of
Yeah,
places to go.
there was one place in the world that we touched on at the airport on our way somewhere else in the Orient at one point, but I never got to visit there, and I always felt I'd like to go back.
Aw, okay. I like that. All right, and then lastly, what do you enjoy or love about the Bristol?
Okay, I arrived at the Bristol on a very interesting day. It was the day that Meghan and Harry in the royal family got married. That was on May 19th, 2018. And while everybody was watching the wedding on TV, I was sneaking into the Bristol.
Aw.
And what I like most about it is the people. It's the reason I came here, because I was in a condo by myself for almost 11 years actually. And I just felt the need for people. And when I think about the pandemic interfering, I don't know what I would have ever done alone in my own condo. I drove up until I came here, and I do not miss the car. but what I did miss was people. And that really is what fills my day and fills my interest. And I just love talking to people. I love exchanging views
You're
and
a little
stories.
chatterbox.
And I am a motormouth. And, that's really what I like. And there's no phase of the Bristol that I could criticize at all. I mean, it's got a little ups and downs, but nothing that would ever worry me.
Aw. All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I just can't think of any place I'd rather be than here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'd like to thank you very much for coming on our show.
You're entirely
It means
welcome.
a lot to me, and I'm sure that it means a lot to people watching in their rooms, seeing as we're in quarantine till the 21st. And I would also like to thank you for the energy and joy that you bring to the Bristol. I really feel like you had
Thank you.
special quality here.
Well, that's because I get it back from everybody else.
Oh, well. But I always love seeing your face around all the activities. So this has been Interview with the Resident. I hope you guys got to know Emily a little better, as much as I did. And thank you, everybody, for watching. At 2 o'clock, we're going to have, 12 minutes. We're going to play The Princess Bride. And thank you very much. So,
Okay. Thank you for
Emily.
having me.
Everyone, have a good
That was a
day.
pleasure.
I'm going to get this off the air. You all take care.